The Grenke Chess Classic, February 2nd through February 9th, 2015. World-class tournament. World champion Magnus Carlsen is there. Also, Vishy Anand, former world champion, is there. Many other great players. Levin Aronian, great world-class player. Mickey Adams from England. Fabiano Caruana, Italian-American. Nadich, top German player. Don't miss any of the action. And here are the standings after 5 rounds in the Grenke Chess Classic 2015. Nadich from Germany and Magnus Carlsen from Norway tied at 3.5. Magnus has won 2 in a row. Fabiano Caruana, Italian-American, with 3. Mickey Adams from England, Bacrot from France, and Aronian from Armenia with 2.5. Vishy Anand has 1.5. And Baramitz has 1. And there are the standings after 5 rounds in the Grenke Chess Classic 2015. Hi folks, John Cordisco back again. Another game from round 5 of the Grenke Chess Classic 2015. Between Mickey Adams from England as white and Bacrot from France as black. I'm showing this game for one simple reason. It's one of those deals all chess players go through, me included, and I'm sure all you have as well, where you'll play and you'll play hard for hours and hours and hours. And you're winning the entire time, and your opponent's under tremendous pressure. And then under either time pressure or just a short mental lapse, it's gone. And all your work is for naught. And that's what happened in this game. I'm going to go through a little quick until I get to the key part. It's going to be a symmetrical English. We'll just go through the opening here. First few moves is fairly long game, but it's not really quite what I... Knight to d5. Now, this is interesting. I like the fact that the queen is over here. I think Bacrot is showing a lot of initiative already. Not really much this knight can do. Going here doesn't do much, and this pawn can't be taken, so it's okay. d6 to get the bishop out. Knight f4. Got to bring the knight back for protection of the king. Queen has to move. Goes to e5. e4 for Mickey. Bishop g4, hitting the queen. Moving the queen isn't advisable. I think the queen needs to be there. So Mickey goes f3. Bishop goes back to d7. Now, granted, this bishop is kind of worthless right now. It's biting against granite. Rook f2. And slowly, I'm going to go through the next few moves here fairly quick because it's a long game, but you get the theme of what I said at the beginning of the video at the end. Knight f4. Queen e5. c5. D takes, knight to d3. Now white sacrifices a pawn. Let's see how this works out for Mickey. Queen to c7. Get the queen right out of there. Knight takes, gets the pawn back. Rook f to d8. Queen to e1. Looks like white's okay. Bishop f4. I mean, they're just pounding at each other. e5. Blocks off the bishop, but the bishop isn't really going after anything over here anyway. I mean, what's over here to go after? Bishop e3. Pawn. Rook c1. Queen e7. Rook d2. Now we're on move 24. So not any real time trouble yet. Knight to d4. Very human move. Computer didn't like that at all. The points jump up now for white. A pawn and 3/4 advantage. Rook to d6 was the computer's move, and then double up the rooks. After rook to d4, knight takes e5 is the computer's choice. But Mickey went knight to b3. If he had taken instead on e5, after queen takes, f4. And it's trouble. It's trouble because this bishop's going to go next. Anyway, you went b3, knight to d7, knight takes, pawn takes, Now you have an isolated pawn on d4, but it's on the 5th rank. It's pretty far down. Bishop f4, rook d to c8. Okay, I mean, it's a little tougher, even though it's funny, the computer shows a little advantage for white, but I wouldn't want to be white here. It's tons easier to play as black. Of course, easier doesn't necessarily make it better. Bishop h3, pinning the knight. Rook c4. Getting the rook in a really good spot and getting rid of the pin. Rook comes over. I don't know why he went there to begin with, but he comes back. a4, bishop d2. Now, it shows the game right now as being even, but I'll tell you what, white's getting pressed. And you get this feeling in your gut when you're slowly getting squeezed, and you're slowly getting squeezed, and psychologically, it's tough. And it happens to me, and I'm just an average player, and it happens to these guys, and they're world-class players. Knight d5, knight takes, queen takes, bishop f1. Try to rally the troops to the queen side here, where it looks like the action's going on. Rook takes c1. Bishop takes. Rook takes on the computer. Now, I wish I could show the video of the commentators. Nigel Short and Jan Gustafsson were saying rook takes rook wasn't as good. But unfortunately, I can't show that yet. I'm trying to get permission from Macaulay Peterson at Chess24. So hopefully in the near future we'll be showing some of the post-mortems, but I think are really cool to watch. Anyway, bishop takes, queen takes c6. Hitting the pawn, which is incredibly annoying. Has to go to a3. Now this pawn is backwards. Rook to c8. And even though it shows it almost even on the computer, you just feel like you're being squeezed. Bishop d3. Now, I'm not so sure around now. When we get later in the game, it goes to move 65, but towards the end, I'll show you the theme of what I'm talking about. The person that made the mistake was down the seconds on their clock. Queen to b3. Queen. I mean, it's tough. I mean, look at this for a minute. This is black space. Okay? That's pressing. And that's tough psychologically. Bishop to d7. Bishop f4. White's trying to untangle, but bishop e6 just can't happen. Those pawns are just in the way. There's no way. Maybe white can start moving these pawns here, but you do it at your own risk. h4, so Mickey goes for it. Bishop c4. e5. Try to gain some space himself. Bishop takes. Rook takes. Queen of d5. King comes up to guard the pawn. h5. Stop any movement on white's part in the king side. Queen of d2. Small advantage now for black. Rook to c4. And you can see black's just turning the screws. Queen to e2. We're the time control now. We're on move 43. b4. A takes. Rook takes. King to f2. Queen to b5. What is white going to do here? Has no choice. Has to go rook to d2. Queen to d5 again. Queen e4. Wants to desperately trade. Nope, no going on with that. Queen has to go to c2 to guard the pawn. King goes to h7. King g2. Queen a1. Here comes the queen and rook combo. Rook to f2. a3. Has to take. Rook goes to b1. It's a point and a half advantage now. And here you are, sitting on your edge of your seat. And Mickey makes terrible error. Queen to d3. And right now the points jump up. It's over a 4-point advantage. Almost 5 now for black. That's a full rook. Rook to d1, hitting the queen. Here it comes. Bishop d2. Rook to g1 check. It's over. Now, right now, Bacrot is pressing, and he's pressing hard. But he's out of time. He basically has seconds left. They have a 30-second increment here. He gets down to 4, 5, 6 seconds, moves, and he gets another 30, and then he gets down to 6 again. He's working on a 30-second increment. And he knows he has them. King, rook checks. If bishop had taken instead, f4 saves the day. Rook h1, rook comes over. It's still bad for white, but not really as bad. After rook to h1, rook to h2 blocking. It's now an 8-point advantage for black. Bacrot is running out of time. Goes queen to g1. That's the mistake. Queen to d1. And then if f4, bishop h6. And he's doomed. Absolutely doomed. After queen to g1, queen to e2. Bishop takes. f4. If queen had taken instead, rook takes mate. f4, bishop d6, a4, d3, queen goes to g2. What else can they do? Rook takes, queen to d1, queen to g2, and so it goes round and round. Bishop c1, queen to d5, queen checks, king, queen to e2, king, and that's where they drew it. Over 6 hours. It's such a heartbreaking feeling, especially when you're in time trouble and you know you're winning and you just got to put it together and the time is running against you. What a heartbreaker for Bacrot. Mickey dodges a bullet, gets a draw. So there it is, folks. The last game I have from round 5 of the Grenke Chess Classic 2015. I hope you enjoyed it. I want you all to remember, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.